We're excited. We're excited. We're first and foremost is thanks to everybody who came to the game on Saturday. We had a little discrepancy with the numbers. Obviously, there was 3,100 people at the game, so that means more money will be donated. So I think it was like 31 and change at the game. Excuse me? 31.59 at the game. So a credit to the local American Cancer Society. Our marketing people here did an unbelievable job with the pink out, and so we'll write a check. And thank you to, we've had a few fans who gave Kelly some money, a check on Saturday. We had some coaching staff members here in the department, some people in the community. So that check will grow, and that just means more help we have for the Road to Recovery program, and we really appreciate all that. So that was great. So we're going back to last week. We played last Wednesday? Boise State? Here? Yeah, so Wednesday, Boise State, and just thinking, so played at home with Boise State and played a really good game and had a chance to beat them here at home. Leon Rice, my good friend and coach, only stayed half of the game, and then he left. Haven't seen him that mad since he lost that blackjack in Vegas. He was pretty ticked off. But I thought we played really well that game. Sid Tomes, again, did a really good job on Justinian Jessup, who's one of the best three-point shooters in the history of the Mount West, and did a pretty good job on Derek Alston for the most part, and thought our guys were really good down the stretch, and we were able to win that game and beat Boise. And then played a CSU game on Saturday. I thought it was a really competitive, hard-fought game. Probably the difference was their team speed was really good. Their guards are so quick, and you know they're quick when you watch them on film, but when you see them live, and I'm bad on names, so 4 and 3 and 1 and 0. Even their coach was quicker than I was. But they were just, we had a hard time containing them. Down at the first half, probably both teams didn't shoot the ball really well. We're down 7 at the half, I think it is. They hit a 3, we hit a 3, stays 7, then we tie it twice. I think the last maybe around the 14-minute mark on a 3 by Lavelle Scotty at 42 all, somewhere around there. And then we just weren't able to get the stops that we needed consecutively. And it got to 4-6, 4-6, 4-6, and then at the end we didn't finish the last minute and 40 seconds. We turned it over, and they ended up beating us by 13. But the big difference in that game was trying to contain Carvacho inside, their post player. When we helped and collapsed a little bit on him, we exposed the perimeter, and they made some shots. They shot the ball pretty well. When we tried to contain the perimeter, they were able to drive by us just a step and made us turn our shoulders or give the next defender one step to help, and when he helped, they pitched it, and they were able to make some shots. So those are the things we'll have to work on before we go up there to the next game and play them. But one-on-one on the week, it was a crazy week in the Mount West. We're going now to play Utah State again, which we just played them 2 weeks ago, tomorrow. Utah State is up 18 points with 4 minutes to go Saturday against Boise. 18 points 4 minutes ago. My wife says, it's over. She goes, you going to watch the rest? I said, yeah, I'm going to watch the rest of the game. They win in overtime. Boise State wins in overtime. Boise has a guard that scores 19 points in 3.5 minutes, and they tie the game on they're down 7 with 13 seconds to go, hit a 3. Utah State throws an errant pass in. They steal it, scored at the buzzer. It's a tie game. And then all the momentum was their way. So they beat Utah State, which was a tough loss for them because they've only played 2 games since we've played them last. They beat Nevada pretty handily at home. And then, you probably thought they had that game there being up 19 with 6 minutes ago and then up 18 with 4 minutes ago. But college basketball's a little fickle, so they lost. So now we got a team up there, that we played really well against here. And I think Kate is a little bit healthier since that point, and he's played well since then. So we'll make a few tweaks on what we did not as well, and the things we did well hopefully continue, and I'm sure they'll do that. So it should be a good game Tuesday night in Logan.
Haven't played them so recently.
Yeah.
Advantage or disadvantage?
I think advantage. I would say advantage just because things are still fresh in our guys' mind as we just practice now and practiced yesterday a little bit. So you could tell as soon as you mentioned some things, it was still fresh in their mind. And so I think that is an advantage probably for both teams.
It seems like your team has this ability to bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your record even reflects that.
Yep.
Does this team have a little bit of a different confidence than maybe some of your other teams have had?
I think so, and probably with a little bit of the older players on the team who've been through some seasons, and hopefully we'll be able to bounce back in Logan, which is a tough place to play for everybody. And I don't think we've been we've had a win up there in Logan. I don't think we have. But it's a good day today because the base is closed, the academy's closed, so we're going to the airport on a charter bus. So we don't have the little bus today, so we got a big bus. So we're not going to sit together, so we got more room. So it's good. When we go on the big bus, as I keep track of all these things, we're better when we go on the big bus to the airport. So that's a good thing today. It's a good thing. Nick, we're on a big bus today. We're not sitting together.
And then you got San Jose State.
Yes, at San Jose.
Yeah, right. Saturday.
Yeah.
What is it about that big Spartan logo on the floor? Does that give them any advantage?
You know, they took that off this year.
Oh, they
They
did?
took the heads off, yeah. Because that was a little bit different, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've played well at home. I mean, they beat New Mexico at home, and they beat Nevada at home. So we'll travel today, play tomorrow, travel Wednesday, come back, and then Thursday practice here, then travel Friday and play them. I think it's an early game on Saturday, two-ish or so. Yeah. So, but they have been good at home. So it's a big week for us. Last week we had 2 at home, and we had to take care of business at home. We did Wednesday, not so much on Saturday. So now we've got to steal one on the road this week. We've got to do that, and it starts with the Utah State game tomorrow.
Talking about Utah State again, Coach, you say that they're fresh in your mind. What specifically did you guys do well? I know it was a great game all around, but that you will take and make sure to really hit those points.
Well, Sam Merrill's really good, and he's really good. He gets to the free throw line so much. He was 8 of 8 on Saturday against Boise. We did not allow him to get to the free throw line, so we defended him. I think he had 11 points in the game, and they were all in the first half. He did not score in the second half, to the point where there was a loose ball underneath. He got hit in the eye and the nose, and he still has a little black eye. You can see that on the game Saturday. So he was not a factor for them offensively in the second half. But the big thing is he gets to the line 8 to 10 times a game, and he's one of the best free throw shooters in the country. And we did not put him on the line. So that was big for us. So we've got to defend without fouling again.
Coach, talking about players needing to have big games, Ryan Swan, so key to your team. Obviously on Saturday didn't have his best effort. For you to go on the road and steal a win, I mean, how important is it for him to kind of bounce back to what we've seen from him this year?
Yeah, we need Ryan, and they guarded us a little differently the first time. Their 7-footer Kada is their center, which Ryan's our center, but they put Kada on Lavelle Scotty to start the game, and they put their 4-man, who's 6'9", 6'7", 6'8", whatever, Bean on Ryan, because Ryan, Tennessee scores a little bit more facing, and Lavelle scores a little bit more inside, so they inverted that. And we did some things and got Ryan out, and we changed them because they switched. So we'll try to do those things again because they kind of switch when those two ever come together. So we'll bring them together a little bit. But Ryan has to be a factor for us, not only from the perimeter in that game, as you say. He was able to score inside on Kada and was able to get to the rim and score. And then he also finished some and scored some free throws inside. So we need that from Ryan to get us going.
Does Caleb's slump worry you at all?
He shot it really well today, and I told him, you're most open when you catch it, you know, and sometimes he was waiting and then putting it on the floor, and he looks a little bit out of sync a little bit, right? And we need him because his last 4 games, his shooting numbers, and Nick does our stats. He does a really good job of breaking it down, wins and losses, home and away, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, whatever we do, but we need him to make those shots and stretch our defense. And he had some good looks. He had a wide open one right in front of our bench on Saturday on the right side in transition. I think we were down 1, would have put us up 2, and we'll have him shoot that every time. But it just didn't go. He was pulling his shoulders back a little bit, and you saw on film, we brought him in. You always want your shoulders forward and your momentum going to the rim, and he was kind of fading back a little bit. And as you notice, his shots were hitting the rim. That's not just that game, but the last 4 games. And so we need him to loosen and keep shooting and make those shots, and he will.
And it's been about a month and a half now that's been up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And now a 500 season would be the best in 15 years for this conference.
But we
Is
got
that good enough, though, for you?
No, we want to put a do not use sign on the elevator because we've been up and down, and we got to start using the escalator that's going up, right? So we need to the next stretch of 3 games is important for us, I think. 2 on the road, Utah State, San Jose, and then I think we're another Tuesday game, right? Fresno coming back. Then we get the bye. Then we get to exhale a little bit. So we got to finish this next stretch of 3 games, and then that would give us, then I think we have 8 left after that because we're at 11. And then now we could plot and plan and reconfigure for those last 8. So, yeah, we want to get above that and then move. But, again, everybody is today our staff, they're so good. So we get in our staff meeting this morning. They said, Coach, did you hear about New Mexico? And I said, no. He said, they just added a 6'9" player yesterday, a high school senior who graduated early. He's a 220, and they brought him in. He's on campus today, and he could play tomorrow if he wants. And I said, you got to be kidding me, because they just lost some players. So I said, we're not worrying about anybody else. It's just about us. So we've got to not go up and down and try to be consistent and finish this stretch out. I think because it's besides San Diego State is playing really well. And UNLV surprising at 6-1, because I think they were picked behind us maybe, or right in front of us maybe in the preseason. Everyone else has kind of been, up and down a little bit. So we want to steer that right and keep moving forward.
Do you think there's anything that's kept you from building some momentum?
No, it's just been because we went through this. I went through this yesterday. Okay, Nevada game, first conference game, which was way back when in December. You tie it up at 68 all, and then you lose by 15. Okay. We had a couple the New Mexico game, and then even the Colorado State game. Okay, when we get it to tie, why haven't we been able to take the lead now there? Now, we did do that in Utah State, and we did do it in Boise, obviously. So those games, and even go back to the Drake game, and there was one more on my computer where we got to tie it. And then Drake, we did take a lead, but then they overcame that and won. And you look at it, and it's probably a possession or two where you miss an assignment defensively and they make a shot, and then a turnover on the other end. And then in those games where the one possession, you've got to be better than that. So those are things, and we said that yesterday when we met as a staff, but we really haven't. We've practiced every day, but all your practice is your build up to the next game. Scouting report, walk through, and guard their stuff instead of just working on us. But that's what happens. Everybody does that now. When you get that bye week, now you can get maybe 2 practices in there, and you can just devote to yourself, and maybe look at some things and change. So hopefully we'll get the next 3 games are important, and then we get a little bit of time, and hopefully be able to correct some things then.
And with the Tuesday game, what does the schedule look like this week? Do you stay out? Or
No, if we had played Wednesday, there's a chance we could have stayed out because it would have probably not made sense or financially been good to come back and then go back west. But being it's Tuesday, we'll get back here about 4 o'clock on Wednesday, and then they'll be able to go to class on Thursday and Friday, which is important because we're missing. There's no class today. That's right. And then we'll fly out Friday afternoon, I believe, to go to San Jose. But if it was Wednesday, Saturday, we probably would have done that. We've done that in the past, and just if you're out west, makes sense to do that. But we'll come home. Yeah.
And then playing at Utah State, I mean, is it still the same? That energy they get.
Yeah,
in the building?
they do a great job there. Their students are there, and they're loud, and they're right on top of you. It's a great environment for college basketball, and they're pretty vocal, obviously. And then obviously everyone plays a little bit better at home. And you've been there, right? It's a little different place, right? It's a little different place, and it's a neat place. I think it's kind of a little old school, but hopefully we can do the things we did defensively we did the first time and come up one ahead at the end of the game.